Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. And I'm here in Otley again today, and we're taking a look at this place just behind us. It's the Milk Bar Café and Bistro. Last time we were in Otley, I looked at this place and saw that they did a good looking breakfast, so thought this time around we'd check this place out. Let's go. Well then, yes, we're back in Otley again, and we're only a short walk away from where we were on our last visit. Today, I'm trying out the big breakfast here at the Milk Bar Café and Bistro. It's Sunday morning, it's not long after opening, and the place is already bustling, and both myself and my daughter take up one of the last remaining 3 tables. Today I've opted for the big breakfast, consisting of bacon, sausage, eggs, black pudding, hash browns, baked beans, plum tomatoes, mushrooms, and toast. And my daughter has gone for the smaller version, the Milk Bar breakfast. As there's no drinks included with either breakfast, we've also ordered tea for 2. So as we're waiting, I do note that in no time at all, the cafe has become standing room only, and there's a queue forming for the next 3 table. Obviously, this is another very popular spot with a great local reputation.
Hi guys, yeah, I've got a big breakfast.
Yep, that's mine, thank you.
Let's see, I've got my breakfast. This toast has sort of come out on one plate. Be careful because the side of the plate's a little warm.
No worries, cheers. So when my plate arrives, I take a moment to appreciate how appetising everything looks. It's all set out with those beans taking centre stage as usual, this time directly on the plate. A couple of things do catch my eye though, most notably a rather phallic shaped tomato. But as I know there'll be kids watching this, we won't go any further into that. The other is the hash browns looking a little anemic, but we'll come on to that later. Overall though, it's a well presented breakfast with a toast served separately. Score 7 out of 10. Let's kick things off with a toast then. I've got 2 thick slices of white bread, lightly toasted with lashings of butter soaked right in. Giving the slice a slight fold demonstrates just how much butter we've got going on here. It's likely the reason for them being a bit floppy, but nonetheless, it tastes great. I'm sampling it now, but saving the rest for those egg yolks later on. Score 8 out of 10. Moving on to these 2 plum tomatoes, and we'll skip over any remarks about their shape. It's quite clear these aren't your standard tin tomatoes, but very likely very fresh. They've got perfect temperature, very little residual water, and an excellent taste. It's not often I actually like tomatoes, but I'd willingly eat more of these. Definitely up there with the best. Score 10 out of 10. Over to the centre stage now, with the ramekinless beans. What I notice first is a distinct lack of that thick, rich tomato sauce we usually see in an abundance. I'm not saying there isn't any of it, it's mostly sunk to the bottom of the pile. I've always thought the sauce makes the beans, but today I learned a lesson. Without it, I could actually appreciate the taste of the beans themselves much more. So I might have just changed my view on what makes great baked beans, because these are up there with some of my favourites ever. Score 10 out of 10. Popping onto the mushrooms now, we've got a couple of spoonfuls of thinly sliced shrooms. They're moist without being overly watery, and flavour wise, they hold their own well. No pepper needed as I usually find. Overall, solid going. Score 7 out of 10. Time for the eggs. And what a glorious looking pair we have here. Perfectly fried with fluffy whites and a lovely baste over the yolk. Breaking into them reveals how well they've been done. And straight back over to the toast we go for some dipping pleasure. They obviously know how to do their eggs well in Otley. Absolutely cracking. Score 10 out of 10. Next up, it's the hash browns. As I mentioned earlier, they're a little pale in colour at first glance. I thought this might be another case where one item lets down an otherwise great breakfast. But I couldn't have been more wrong. Looks can definitely be deceiving. While they might lack some crispiness, they make up for it with a great fluffy shreddy potato interior and a surprisingly exceptional flavour. Score a well-deserved 9 out of 10. Heading over to our 2 rashers of back bacon now. Both are nicely cooked with a good colouring. Quite thick but thinning out towards the cap end where they crisp up slightly. The loin parts have some lovely fatty edges. Not overly salty, but still packing good flavour. Score 7 out of 10. Onto the black pudding now, and we've got a large single piece. It's a little thinner than some, but cutting in reveals plenty of retained moisture. Flavour wise, there's a lovely, almost fragrant note, alongside the expected savouriness. Score 9 out of 10. Last, but certainly not least, it's the sausages. We've got 2 nicely cooked links, both extremely thick and meaty inside. There's good flavour here, but they've lost a bit of interior moisture from cooking. Still, some good quality, and overall, very enjoyable. Score 7 out of 10. Now let's talk value for money. The base price of this breakfast is $12.95 with drinks extra. On the surface, it may seem a little bit pricey, but when you factor in the overall quality of the produce and the fact that I left feeling thoroughly satisfied, having had a cracking meal in a great cafe bistro environment in this picturesque Yorkshire town, it felt well worth every penny. Much like their neighbours at Rafferty's Cafe, it's top marks here. Job well done. Score 10 out of 10. Quick rundown on the missing items. Only fried bread was absent today, not available on the menu or upon request, so that's a deduction of 1 point. So after chucking all them high scores into that number cruncher of ours, we come out with a total point score of 93 out of 110. It's time for that all-important and meaningful final Breakfast Club score now, and today the Milk Bar Café and Bistro in Otley scores 84.5%, putting them bang in the middle of our great rating bracket. Clear sign, this is definitely a place worthy of travelling out to visit. Looking at the leaderboard, the Milk Bar Café and Bistro claims a solid 3rd spot. This ultimately sees our very first review, where this journey began back at Robert Shaw's Bakery, finally drop out of the top 10. Well, that wraps up another full English review on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more weekly reviews. You can also catch us on Facebook for updates and to get discussions going by sharing what's been on your breakfast plate. Until next time, may your bacon be sizzling, your fried bread golden and your yolks runny. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. So that was our breakfast here today at the Milk Bar Café and Bistro in Otley. When you come to Otley and you're looking for a full English breakfast, you're a little bit spoiled for choice, really. This is another good one. Just like Rafferty's Cafe we did a few weeks ago. You really are spoiled for choice. Right, time to head off, get out of this rain and get dry. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.